Pooja, a newly married young woman, steps into her husband's house with countless dreams in her eyes, hoping to begin a beautiful new chapter of her life. But on the very first night after her wedding, something happens that shakes her to the core. A horrifying truth unfolds before her, something she could never have imagined, even in her worst nightmares. Why did such a terrible betrayal happen to an innocent newlywed bride? What dark secret was hidden behind the smiling faces of this family? This story will leave you disturbed, emotional, and in the end, teach you a powerful lesson. But before we uncover the horror of that dreadful night, we need to go back a little and understand how everything began. At the center of this story is Kamlesh, a responsible woman who manages a large family with dedication and care. Her family includes her husband, a young daughter, her in-laws, a Silin, and her younger brother-in-law, Aaron. To Kamlesh, Aaron is not just family. She loves him like her own son. As time passes, Aaron grows into a handsome young man, and the family decides it is time to find him a bride. The girl they go to meet is Pooja, an educated and confident young woman who has completed her bachelor's degree in English honors. Her charm, intelligence, and graceful personality instantly impress everyone. When Pooja softly sings an English song during the meeting, the room falls silent in admiration. The entire family is captivated by her innocence and talent. Aaron, especially, feels as if he has fall. But in that entire room, there was one person whose face showed confusion instead of happiness. Kamlesh did not like Pooja's modern and outspoken nature at all. However, in front of Aaron's happiness and stubborn insistence, Kamlesh had no choice but to give in. Reluctantly, she agrees to the relationship. That very day, following the saying, "quick engagement, quick marriage," the ring ceremony is celebrated with great joy and excitement. A ring bearing Aaron's name is placed on Pooja's finger, but no one knew that this happiness was only meant to last for a single night. The very next morning, Kamlesh is traveling somewhere with her mother-in-law in an auto rickshaw. Suddenly, they notice a huge crowd and loud commotion on the road ahead. Some people were protesting on the streets. Then, among the crowd, Kamlesh spots a face that completely shocks her. It was Pooja. Kamlesh instantly loses her temper and angrily orders everyone to stop this drama immediately. Burning with rage, she storms toward Pooja, grabs her hand harshly, and forcefully removes the engagement ring from her finger. In just one moment, she breaks the relationship that had been formed only a day earlier. When Kamlesh returns home with this storm of anger, chaos erupts inside the house. Her husband scolds her, saying, "The mess you created without thinking. Now you'll have to fix it yourself." Poor Aaron desperately pleads with her and tries to explain that Pooja's thinking is not wrong, but Kamlesh had become blind in her pride. She refuses to listen to anyone. After some time, the story takes a beautiful and emotional turn. To save her relationship and explain herself, Pooja personally comes to meet Kamlesh. Softly apologizing, she says, "If we don't stand for what is right and for the rights of others, then this world will slowly fall apart." Although Kamlesh had traditional beliefs, she was pure-hearted. She understands the depth of Pooja's words and her heart melts. Smiling gently, Kamlesh says, "It takes me a little longer to understand things, but once I do, I never stop supporting what is right." Saying this, Kamlesh respectfully returns the ring to Pooja. Finally, wedding bells ring, and Aaron and Pooja get married. But hidden beneath the glitter and celebration of the wedding was a serious problem. On the wedding day, Pooja was extremely ill. She was suffering from high fever and severe body pain. Even during the wedding rituals, she could barely stand with the support of medicines. After all the wedding ceremonies are completed, comes the night every newlywed bride dreams of, the wedding night. Aaron enters the room, and after a few formal conversations, he slowly starts getting closer to Pooja. Pooja, already exhausted from pain and fever, clearly tells Aaron, "My health is really bad. I have a high fever in my whole body." Pooja had completely realized that night that in Aaron's eyes, she was neither a wife nor someone he loved. She was merely a lifeless object to satisfy his lust. Her life had turned into a living hell. One night, trembling with fear, Pooja locked herself inside the bathroom. Outside, Aaron kept banging on the door, ordering her to come out. Terrified and crying, Pooja said from inside, "I can't come near you tonight. My periods have started." But how could anyone stop the lust controlling a monster? Aaron's reply was enough to chill anyone to the core. "Don't lie to me. Open the door. I want to see." Hearing this, Pooja froze in fear. She understood that this monster would never listen to her. In the middle of that terror and helplessness, Pooja's eyes fell on a blade lying nearby, and the scene cuts there. The next morning, chaos erupts in the house. Everyone learns that Pooja has been rushed to the hospital and her condition is extremely critical. The entire family arrives there in panic. Aaron cleverly misleads Kamlesh and the rest of the family, claiming that Pooja had some internal women-related health problem, which caused her condition. But when Kamlesh goes inside and speaks to the lady doctor, the truth she hears shakes her entire existence. In a heavy voice, the doctor reveals that Pooja had deep blade cuts on her private parts, and excessive bleeding had led to her critical condition. Kamlesh is left completely stunned. Trying to control herself, she immediately sends the rest of the family home, saying she will stay with Pooja. When Pooja regains consciousness, she breaks down in tears and reveals the horrifying truth that forced her to take such a terrifying step. Hearing her pain, Kamlesh is shattered from within. That night, after returning home, Kamlesh walks into the bathroom holding the same blade. To truly understand Pooja's pain, she tries to do to herself what Pooja had done. But the moment the blade lightly touches her skin, her hands start trembling. She immediately throws the blade away. In that one moment, Kamlesh deeply realizes the unimaginable fear and pain that a 21-year-old innocent girl must have gone through to punish herself in such a horrifying way. The next day, Arun shamelessly arrives at the hospital to meet Pooja, only to discover that Kamlesh had already discharged her and taken her away. Despite his wife's serious condition, the only thing on that disgusting man's mind was his physical desire. Without shame, he asks the lady doctor, "So, can I be intimate with my wife now?" Hearing this disgusting question, the doctor's blood boils with anger. She had seen Pooja's horrifying injuries and knew exactly who was responsible. "You are a filthy and disgusting human being." Furious, she screams at Arun, "Monsters like you deserve the harshest punishment." She immediately calls the security guards and has Arun thrown out of the hospital, warning everyone that this animal should never be allowed near her hospital again. Pooja had entered this house with thousands of beautiful dreams about marriage and a new life. But today, her life had turned into a horrifying nightmare where her own husband had become her biggest criminal. What Pooja suffered in the name of love and marital rights was worse than death itself. But now that Pooja has returned from the edge of death and has finally gained the support of Kamlesh, the same woman who once stood against her, what will happen next? What do you think Pooja should do now? Should she forgive Arun, or should she punish him in a way that becomes an example for society? Share your opinion in the comments. Like the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next and most important part of Pooja's story. See you soon in the next part of the story.